This video is sponsored by Mega Knockdown. Kinda. The creators of the fighting game Mega Knockdown were giving out free Steam keys to streamers and video makers recently. I asked, and they gave me one, making them the first group to give me any free stuff because I have this channel. Big note before we go any further, I was not told to say anything about the game. These are my honest opinions, and the game's creators don't know what I'm about to say. I just asked them if I could work this into the bit I've been doing to start my most recent videos, and they were cool with it. So what is Mega Knockdown? Mega Knockdown is an in-development turn-based fighting game. Now if that sounds weird to you, same. Turns are a thing in normal fighting games, but there, it's talking about which player is in control of the match at a given point. On their face, fighting games seem wholly incompatible with traditional turn-based gameplay as we'd normally think of it. Turns, in the usual sense, are slow and rigid, while fighting games tend to be quick and fluid. But here comes Mega Knockdown with an interesting middle ground. Mega Knockdown strips fighting games down to the genre's bare basics to provide an experience that, while unique, still feels completely natural to play in the same way you would play a normal fighting game. On each turn, you input one of the 4 cardinal directions and a button command. The game gives you 5 buttons to choose from: light, medium, and heavy attacks, a throw button, and a block button. The block button is crucial for more than just blocking though, as it's also how you move forward without attacking, and how you jump backward since the game doesn't use diagonal directions. The stages use a grid layout over the background to give you a clear view of all the space a given attack covers, making it easier for players to quickly identify the spacing rules of each move. Special moves are done by doing specific direction plus button inputs, while combos will come out automatically and only in the right situations, stripping away the complex command strings that intimidate some first-time players. Mega Knockdown is a fantastic simplified fighting game, and potentially a great teaching tool as well, as all the core aspects of the fighting game genre are present, right down to traditional grab breaks. The game is available on Steam in early access for $11.99 USD, and I highly recommend checking it out. Now, onto the video. Hey y'all, I'm knee-deep in putting together the Pokémon type Wild video, and hope to have it out in the next few weeks. While I work on that, I wanted to get up another one of these +R Diaries videos, as I've been enjoying the game a lot more recently. For those of you who don't know, this series originally started as a way for me to fill gaps between uploads, which is exactly the purpose it's serving now. Funny thing about it though, having the Pokémon videos to work on has helped my relationship with Guilty Gear. I spent much of the last 3 months being frustrated with the game. I was losing all the time without much understanding as to why I was losing. The one combo I'd been trying to learn still felt impossible, and it just seemed like I'd hit a wall, one that I didn't feel like bashing my head against for much longer. The new toy sensation seemed to be fading off +R. I said on Twitter that I was gonna stop playing online matches for a little while and focus on messing around with combos in training mode like I used to spend hours doing in Tekken 7. That did prove fun in +R. And now I have a few more combos I feel pretty confident going for in real matches. That includes the combo that once seemed unattainable for me. I spent my Christmas and birthday money from the holidays on getting a new fight stick, upgrading from the Mayflash F300 I learned how to play stick on initially. This is gonna sound really scrubby, but I do believe that the upgrade in fight sticks is the reason I started getting super jump cancels consistently. I still appreciate the Mayflash stick though, for the 3 years I used it. It's the perfect introductory fight stick if you're curious about how it feels to play on one, especially due to its affordable price. If my starting point for figuring out if I liked using a fight stick was in the $100+ range, I probably would have just stuck to Tekken because it was the only game I enjoyed playing on the PS4 pad I already had. But because of the Mayflash, I found a controller type I can enjoy playing 2D fighters and Virtua Fighter with. Word to the wise though, you probably want to upgrade the joystick after a while if you're not going to get a whole new setup. Joysticks run anywhere from $20 to $60, so it's still a cost-efficient investment if you've already owned the stick for a decent amount of time. The rest of the Mayflash F300, specifically the case, is really solid. Now that I'm done eulogizing an arcade stick, let's get back to the meat of this video. Being able to put my creative focus toward other video ideas has made playing Plus R more enjoyable. Knowing I've got video ideas I can get done within the amount of time I want to give myself between uploads has made playing Plus R feel a lot more like a choice. In the past few months, it's felt like something I had to do since the video following a time-consuming edit needed to be a Diaries video. But with me suddenly being able to record these voiceovers a lot faster, that's not much of a problem anymore. I can voice a 15-minute video in 1/4 of the time it would have taken me to do even a month ago. I really feel like I've found my footing speaking into a microphone. That's translated into Plus R through me being more selective about when I play it. There's not a need to get in enough matches to have an idea for a script on how things are going. I felt a lot more free to just play whenever I want to. That more clear headspace led to some noticeable improvements. The biggest one being that I've finally stopped defaulting to crouching heavy slash, the crutch of my panic moments, and something I was just throwing out in neutral way too often regardless of the situation. A big part of that improvement came from watching a replay review session from pro player and commentator Ryan Hunter. I have no idea how one of his year-old videos ended up in my recommendeds, but I'm glad it did. He gives the videos chapters so you can jump to what character replays you want to see him go over, and naturally, I went looking for parts where he was reviewing Axel footage. The first one I saw had him pointing out some improvable flaws in an Axel player's play that I've known myself to struggle with as well. But hearing him articulate the how and why behind his suggested improvements is what got them to land with me. It wasn't anything long or drawn out, it was basic reasoning that was easy to understand, easy to remember, and easy to envision myself implementing in-game. Hearing someone spell it out for me in plain English is exactly what I needed. But instead of taking that info and feeling like I needed to quickly implement it into my gameplay so I could have a talking point for the next upload, I was able to go, that would be fun to try, and actually have fun trying it. I've stopped going for crouching heavy slash so much because I've started focusing on being more vigilant about recognizing my opponent's tendencies and not overextending myself on offense. This feels like the natural progression of the playing slower improvement I talked about in the last Diaries video. Previously, I was slowing down but still had the same old bad tendencies I'd been struggling with since episode 1 of this series. Now I'm playing slower with better tendencies and it's begun to pay off. That patience, the ability to hold back my bad habits and let new, better ones take their place, has turned the tides in recent matches for me. Matches my bad tendencies would have gotten me wrecked in, I'm now keeping a lot closer. And close matches I would have lost on dumb mistakes, I'm either losing in a good way or winning by playing better than my old self. The selectiveness I talked about in the last video has also been very helpful alongside the more free-feeling headspace. If I can't find someone around my skill level, I'll just hop off instead of feeling the need to play more to have stuff for a script. But I've been having some great luck in that regard lately. I played 14 games against a Bridget recently, almost all of which were close. Bridget is a character I really hate playing against, because they operate a lot differently from other characters. They can get so far up in the air that they're completely out of range of Axel's normally amazing anti-air options. It's bad enough that Axel's umbrella or UFO special, whatever you want to call it, becomes a key part of keeping Bridget in check for me. It makes me wish that Axel had an air copy of his crouching slash that just shot straight up. My favorite part of this set came early. It was the third round of our second game, and it ended in the slimmest of timeout victories for me. This wasn't a case of stall, however. No, we were jockeying for better position the whole damn game because we respected each other's options so much. It's the most fun I've ever had in a fighting game, and that sentiment can be extended across the whole set. We were perfectly matched in skill, and so it made every round feel intense and interesting. My offense across these games wasn't great, but I'm very proud of my patience and recognition of different things on defense. This is probably the first time in the whole series where I can say that the best game I think I've ever played is one where I came out the victor, and it's by the slimmest of margins here. I'm happy with Plus R for the first time in a long time. Having other things to focus on put a spotlight on the game whenever I found myself playing it. I was playing Plus R because I honestly enjoyed it. It's a fun way for me to spend my time. Now it's more play and less work. The work, like writing this script, should always be a byproduct of these enjoyable pastimes. You see that in the Pokémon videos and in my older videos on handheld fighters, specifically the Beat-em-on video. In all of those, I had something I was excited to talk about and showcase to more people. How Beat-em-on is a hidden gem that deserves a console port. How Skarmory was dominant with a surprisingly small range of moves. And now, how branching out into other types of content has helped me enjoy playing Guilty Gear more. This is an important lesson I'm glad I learned when it comes to Plus R and with regard to this channel as a whole. I've gotta learn how to be fine with leaving things on the back burner until I'm at least a little bit excited to dive into them. Otherwise, I'm going to burn myself out. That's why I'm not pushing myself hard to make the Tyranitar competitive consistency video. For the way I want to present my videos on individual Pokémon, Tyranitar's complex history poses a real challenge on how to format the script in a way I think would be interesting. Once the inspiration hits, these scripts just flow right out of me. I wrote this Plus R script in 2 days on a whim because I'd been enjoying the game so much. This recording was done in one sitting because the energy hit me again. I love this stuff. I just gotta not beat myself over the head with it. Moderation is the key for me. Question of the video today is gonna be, what's a game you unabashedly love and would recommend everyone play? I'm gonna go with The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa, maybe the most captivated I've been by a game in the past 5 years. It's an 80s Japanese high school thug drama with RPG and beat-em-up elements that clicked with me for whatever reason. The ending is a bit of an odd choice, but I found the rest of the game to be a very memorable experience. And that'll do it for me. Expect to see the Type Wild video in your notifications in about 2 weeks. Anyways, peace.